longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves, and that we must reach for.
Hi everyone, this is the Legendary Eye back again with more. This time I'm going to be doing another Beyblade Burst Turbo unboxing. This is going to be for Knight K4. It's a stamina type, Beyblade Burst Turbo. It's also a Slingshot Beyblade. And there's the front of the box. Then for the back of the box, you basically see the stats, which are 2 attack, 1 burst, 5 defense, 3 weight, 5 agility, and 11 stamina. It's a right spin Beyblade, and yeah, it's 2 for power and 4 for speed. So this Beyblade kind of seems like it's basically just like Maximum Garuda or Maximus Garuda from Beyblade Burst Evolution, but it's also a mix between. It's also kind of mixed in with Valkyrie or Valchak, but I'll go into more detail with that later. Anyway, let's get on to the unboxing. Basically, here's everything that the Beyblade comes with: launcher, ripcord, instruction manual. You don't need that. And first, let's get into the layer. So for the layer is Knight K4, and the whole theme of it is supposed to be kind of like a knight, and it's also supposed to be a reference to Valkyrie or Valchak. So it has a blue color scheme. It has a blue, yellow, and red color scheme. There's a little bit of silverish plastic in the middle. And now obviously it kind of looks kind of bland compared to how it should look, but it still looks pretty nice to me. Anyway, here's the QR code if you want to scan it. And the Beyblade Burst app. Now let's get into the disc. So for the disc, it's actually pretty interesting to me. Oh wait, it's kind of concerning. I'm not sure why, but I always end up with all the messed up manufactured parts. The disc is actually a mix between 12 and Expand, where 12 is the core disc and Expand is the frame. Expand is pretty good. It's supposed to be pretty good. It's supposed to be good for airflow and stamina. And 12 is actually pretty good for, I'd say it's good for airflow if you actually have it on a frame, but without a frame it actually messes up Beyblades. Now let's get on to the driver. This driver is actually a re-release of Eternal Slingshot. Wow, I just realized something. So, for some reason, this wave of Beyblades actually comes with a little bit of this sparkly glitter-like plastic, whereas all the other ones don't. But it's only for Dread Phoenix and Air Knight. That's weird. Anyway, this is the Eternal Slingshot, which was originally seen on Archer Hercules. And I'll kind of show you how to go into Battle Ring mode. Slingshot mode. So this is Battle Ring mode by itself as a free spinning gimmick. But in order for it to go into Slingshot mode, you have to line it up properly. It should be like that, where the little nub showing up through the little dent. And then you pull. Then it should pop up. And then it's going to be free spinning. So I recommend trying to see if you can find a little crease there with the little crack. and then move it over, and then try and tilt launch it, just so you don't make a mistake and push it back into battering mode when trying to just launch it normally, since that's the problem that a lot of people do have. Knight K4. Whoa. So the burst resistance is actually pretty high on this one. I don't see this Beyblade bursting anytime soon, unless it was hit multiple times and just not able to recover its balance and then just scrape and then burst. But even then, it kind of seems like a low possibility given how round it is. Anyway, let's get into the test spin test battle. Battering mode. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Okay, so in battering mode, it kind of seems like, I'm not really sure how to describe it. It looks exactly like Valkyrie, except for if used with Maximus Garuda. And the stamina doesn't really seem to be too good either. Even though I am kind of concerned of how well this will perform in a battle, I'm kind of a little bit more curious to see how well Slingshot mode works. Slingshot mode. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Okay, so it's just as I predicted. It's a little bit slow. It's a little bit slow and a little bit weighed down because of its gimmick, which is supposed to be a whole bunch of airflow. And the airflow doesn't really make it hit too hard, so that's a big drawback. I'll do a test battle between Knight K4 and Wonder Valtrak. But for Wonder Valtrak, I actually put on the flow frame. Round 1, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Whoa, a little bit of scraping. And Knight actually survived that. That's interesting. Slingshot mode. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Whoa. Knight. That was interesting. Knight actually did take up a nice amount of the arena, but it also kind of defended too. So that actually puts a little bit more emphasis on how just bulky it can be, instead of how bulky it is kind of perceived to be. Yeah, it's pretty fun to use, but that doesn't really make up for its performance competitive-wise. So it's pretty light, of course, because it's supposed to be airflow based. And when it's in slingshot mode, it basically gets caught on the rails a lot, and if it just tips over even a little bit, it can scrape the arena. So that's pretty bad. And unless you have a Beyblade that has a tall slingshot driver, like the Dimension driver from Turbo Achilles, then this Knight just won't really be of any use to you. So it kind of just depends on preference and what arena you're in, because this Beyblade can be pretty good stamina wise, I believe. It just has to be in the right environment and up against the right Beyblade, so it's kind of hard to really tell how good or bad it is. At least it didn't burst too easy. So, like if you want, favorite if you want, and subscribe for more awesomeness. See you next time, bye, and I'm proven to be legendary. By the way, I recommend this Beyblade for both collectors and somewhat competitive players. If you're too competitive, you won't like this. Anyway, bye.